Why would I pay money for this? That's what I thought when I saw screenshots of V. To people who have been gaming in the 80s, this art style might be more appealing. Not for me. Apart from the fact that I haven't been gaming in the 80s, I'm also not very nostalgic in general, and so I was deterred at first. Though, as the open-minded person that I am, I still gave the game a chance, and oh boy, was I wrong. The game starts with the following sequence. As you just saw, a small group of tiny space-traveling pixel dudes had some sort of accident. As a result, were scattered and lost across the dimension called V. As their captain, it is your job to find and rescue your pixel crew. Most of the little bits of story in the game are kept in the same style. The emotional range of the little pixel guys is limited to a sad face and a happy face. The dialogue is kept short and simple, but has a nice, cutesy and humorous touch throughout. Whilst there is certainly not much depth in the narrative, as can be expected from this type of game, it is exactly this aspect that made the game so likable to me. V has an uncompromising but well thought out retro design. This shows itself in the art style, the soundtrack and the gameplay. It all kind of fits together. As you may have guessed, V is a 2D platformer. It's not a side-scroller, but instead you move from screen to screen without noticeable lag. The gameplay is centered on your ability to reverse your own gravitational orientation, meaning that you can just flip to the ceiling and then flip back down to the floor. You can't flip mid-air and there's no jumping, which might be a little unconventional for some. It's still easy to learn. Eventually the game ramps up the challenge and throws in some twists to these gameplay mechanics. There are minor puzzle aspects, though most of the game's platforming is very much about precision and timing. I found that the game never really seems unfair, and whenever I got angry and frustrated about a particular part, I got angry at myself, not at the game. This is aided by a bazillion checkpoints scattered across the levels, which means that when you die, and you will die a lot, you will be instantly teleported back to the last checkpoints, and you can have another go at the obstacle straight away. The game becomes satisfying once you are able to quickly overcome a number of obstacles without having to make use of those checkpoints. The game world offers some freedom. Basically, you navigate through the world and explore to find the entrance to the next level where you hope to rescue one of your pixelated crew members. The controls are good. I used my keyboard and I found it to be pretty responsive. There's an option to plug in a gamepad if you want to. The main drawback of the game is that it seems to fall a little short. You can rush through the game, and I'm trying to estimate the time it takes in maybe 2 hours. If you want to collect all of the 20 collectibles, you might add another hour or 2. By the way, I found that collecting those 20 trinkets was totally worth it. Do it, if you can. Obviously, this depends on how much you explore and how skillful you are. Once you beat the game and in addition collect all of the trinkets, it unlocks a number of other game modes such as time trials and challenges. This might increase the replayability for some people. There's even achievements in there. It was very fun while it lasted. Nonetheless, I feel there could have been a little more content, just a couple more levels. So to come back to the original question, why would I pay for this, or why would you pay for this? Well, V is an homage to a past era in gaming. It feels like a game from the 80s, but in a more refined and polished form. I think it will very much appeal to gamers who have an appreciation for anything old school and retro in gaming. But even if you are not that type, you might find yourself caught by the charm of this game. The visuals are well designed for what they are. The gameplay is certainly not revolutionary, but a nice new take on platforming. It is challenging and it is fair. The story adds that lovely charm that sold me personally on the game, and then there is the fantastic upbeat chiptune soundtrack. I do fully recommend this game. Try the demo at the very least and see for yourself.